Hello travelers, this is Jade the Occultist. Welcome back to the channel. As we stand under the radiant gaze of the June full moon, let's pause just for a moment and feel into the truth it's trying to illuminate. This is no ordinary lunation. On June 11th, the full moon rises at 20 Sagittarius, and it comes with a name and a color that whispers of mystery. The strawberry moon, also known as the rosemoon or flowermoon. This moon may appear with a soft pink hue, casting a gentle glow across the sky. A visual reminder that beauty, sweetness, and truth can coexist if we're willing to look closely. This full moon doesn't rise alone. It comes with a rich, complex web of planetary energies that make it especially potent. The moon is rising across the Taurus-Scorpio axis, with its ascending point in Taurus, grounding us in what is real, stable, and sensual. Meanwhile, Jupiter has just entered Cancer, the sign of emotional memory, soul family, and deep feeling. Mercury is also in early Cancer, heightening intuitive insights and emotional communication. But here's where it gets interesting. Jupiter and Mercury are forming a tense square to Saturn and Neptune, both of which are in the very first degrees of Aries. This forms a cardinal T-square, creating inner pressure to move forward. Yet the road is foggy. There's friction between heart and mind, between dream and duty. You may feel torn between emotional truth and the discipline required to ground it into reality. Even as Mercury and Jupiter try to nurture us in watery Cancer, Neptune clouds clarity, and Saturn demands spiritual maturity. It's a moment where false optimism will be exposed, but genuine faith will be tested and deepened. Yet there is support. Venus in Taurus is harmonizing beautifully with both Jupiter and Mercury in Cancer, bringing warmth, love, and comfort from the earth, realm sensual connection, beauty, and nourishment. And it's a big but. Uranus in Taurus is sitting close to Algol, the fixed star associated with intensity, disruption, and transformation of values. This moon is asking us to break free from toxic attachments, especially those that mask themselves as comfort or safety. This full moon in Sagittarius, our strawberry moon, carries several layers. Sweetness of truth, even when it's bitter at first. Emotional revelations, especially connected to family, home, and ancestral patterns. A reckoning with illusions. Where have you been fooling yourself to stay safe? A call to embody spiritual maturity, not fantasy. Now let's take a closer look at how this strawberry full moon will unfold for each rising sign. This is the moment where the collective energy becomes personal, where the cosmic weather starts to weave its way into the very fabric of your life story. Remember, when we talk about astrology, especially in transits like this, it's your rising sign that sets the stage. That rising sign determines where the moon lights up your chart, what house it activates, what area of life is being illuminated, what inner and outer tides are ready to shift. Even if you're not that sign, you may have planets there. Or perhaps someone close to you does. Let your intuition guide you to what messages are meant for you. This full moon is potent. It's laced with emotion, memory, and a quiet yet powerful call to release, reclaim, and remember. So take a deep breath. Feel your feet on the ground. And as we enter the sacred space of each rising sign, see what the moon is reflecting back to you. Are you ready? Let's begin. Dear Aries and Aries rising, this strawberry full moon on June 11th, 2025 lights up your ninth house, the house of wisdom, long-distance travel, philosophy, higher education, legal matters, publishing, and spiritual beliefs. It is the domain of your personal expansion, your relationship with the truth, and your hunger for meaning beyond the day-to-day. The ninth house is where we zoom out from the small picture and ask, why am I really here? What do I believe in? What do I want to teach or share with the world? This full moon may bring clarity or disruption in areas related to your belief systems, your studies, or your desire to go beyond the known. You may feel a strong urge to explore, to escape routine, or to commit more deeply to a spiritual or academic path. With the full moon in Sagittarius, you're being called to see the bigger picture, even if it means releasing a story you've clung to. Something you've believed for a long time may now be shifting. You might receive a truth that changes your direction, or you could have a powerful realization that opens your heart to a broader, more soulful worldview. And here's the cosmic twist. Jupiter, your ninth house ruler and the ruler of this full moon, has just entered Cancer, now sitting in your fourth house, the house of home, roots, and emotional security. This means your spiritual or philosophical breakthroughs may be deeply connected to your past, your ancestry, or your emotional foundation. You might revisit childhood beliefs, move toward healing generational stories, or feel pulled to create a sanctuary where your soul can grow. That Jupiter and Mercury in Cancer are making a tense square to Saturn and Neptune in Aries, right in your first house. This suggests a challenge between who you thought you were and who you're becoming. Your identity is being rewritten. There's a cosmic pressure to mature, to release illusions about the self, and to ground your beliefs in real, lived experience, not fantasy. Ask yourself, what truth am I finally ready to accept, even if it shakes my current worldview? Reconnect with a spiritual or philosophical practice that once gave you meaning. Journal about where you're ready to grow, and where you're still playing small. This full moon is illuminating a sacred crossroad between your inner roots and outer vision. Trust the pull toward truth, even if it leads you far from where you began. Dear Taurus and Taurus rising, on June 11, 2025, the strawberry full moon rises in Sagittarius, lighting up your 8th house, the house of transformation, shared resources, intimacy, psychological depth, power, and rebirth. This is not a superficial house. It's the realm of what's hidden, buried, and often avoided, yet it holds the key to your deepest empowerment. The 8th house is where we face our fears, confront the shadows, and emerge stronger for having done so. Under this lunation, you may be called to release emotional entanglements, debts both financial and karmic, or patterns that have kept you tied to the past. Topics such as joint finances, inheritances, trust, vulnerability, and sexuality may come into sharp focus. Something is completing or being revealed in your most intimate dynamics. Perhaps you are ending a financial or emotional dependence. Perhaps a part of you is finally ready to heal old wounds around betrayal, abandonment, or control. This full moon is not light, but it is liberating. This lunation's ruler, Jupiter, has just entered Cancer and is now activating your 3rd house, the house of thoughts, communication, siblings, short trips, and mental narratives. Paired with Mercury also in Cancer, your mind is sensitive, emotionally attuned, and highly imaginative right now. However, Jupiter and Mercury are in a tense square with Saturn and Neptune in Aries, your 12th house. This suggests that what you're processing is not entirely conscious. Subconscious patterns, spiritual exhaustion, or self-sabotaging habits may be surfacing through this emotional and psychological reckoning. You might feel mentally foggy or overwhelmed by unspoken truths. Don't rush clarity. Let what's hidden come gently to the surface. Venus, your ruling planet, is in Taurus and offering you grace and grounding. She is supporting Jupiter and Mercury in Cancer, suggesting that your body, your voice, and your values are the keys to navigating this deep inner process. But beware. Uranus is also in Taurus, very close to Algol, a fixed star associated with intensity, chaos, and decapitation of false identities. This means part of your ego may be undergoing a dramatic shedding. Let it happen. It's time to reclaim your power. Ask, Where have I been afraid to let go, even though something's already gone? This full moon is your opportunity to transmute pain into power. What ends now clears space for deeper intimacy, inner peace, and authentic rebirth. Dear Gemini and Gemini rising, the strawberry full moon on June 11th, 2025 rises in your 7th house, the house of partnerships, unions, contracts, and one-on-one relationships. This house governs the mirror, how others reflect who we are, how we commit, and how we are shaped through intimacy, collaboration, and confrontation. Under this lunation, relationship themes are taking center stage. You might experience a climax or turning point in a romantic connection, business partnership, or legal matter. Something that began months ago may now be culminating in clarity or closure. This is not just about romance. It's about all kinds of soul-level agreements that have shaped your path. This full moon could bring a deep realization about what you want and need from others, and how you show up in return. Are you overgiving or under-receiving? Have you been afraid of true vulnerability? This is your chance to see what's no longer working in your relationship dynamics and to choose connection from a more authentic place. The ruler of this full moon, Jupiter, has just entered Cancer, now illuminating your 2nd house, the realm of values, money, self-worth, and what you're building for long-term security. Mercury, your ruling planet, is also there. These two are bringing your attention to the connection between your partnerships and your self-worth. But here's the challenge. Jupiter and Mercury are forming a square to Saturn and Neptune in Aries, located in your 11th house, the domain of friendships, networks, future goals, and the greater collective. This can create tension between what you value in one-on-one relationships versus what you aspire to within your social circles or idealistic visions for the future. You may be questioning who really supports you. Are your alliances aligned with your values? Or have you outgrown some social contracts? Miscommunications and emotional misunderstandings are possible, especially if you've been ignoring subtle red flags or over-idealizing someone. Venus in Taurus is offering gentle support from your 12th house, helping you process subconscious feelings and heal silently. Still, Uranus near Algol in Taurus signals surprising revelations, perhaps through dreams, secrets, or sudden emotional insights. A hidden truth may emerge that shifts the way you view a current relationship. Meditate on the following question. What is being reflected back to me through this person, this ending, or this commitment? This full moon is your mirror. It reveals not just who you are in relation to others, but who you are becoming when you choose to love yourself first. Dear Cancer and Cancer rising, on June 11th, 2025, the strawberry full moon rises in your 6th house, the house of daily routines, health, work responsibilities, service, and the mind-body connection. This is a deeply practical yet powerful area of the chart. It governs the sacred and the ordinary, how you care for your body, how you manage your time, how you serve others, and how you honor yourself in the process. Something in your day-to-day world is reaching a culmination. You may be ending a job, completing a project, or having an emotional realization about how much you've been carrying. If you've been neglecting your health, whether physical, emotional, or spiritual, this full moon may illuminate exactly where balance has been lost. This is a time to release what depletes. Whether it's a draining routine, an overcommitted schedule, or unspoken emotional labor at work or in your home, this lunation wants you to reclaim your vitality and choose wellness. This full moon is ruled by Jupiter, which has just entered your sign Cancer, and is conjunct Mercury in your 1st house. Your identity, voice, and presence are expanding. You are being called to take up more space and express your truth, but not without emotional clarity. However, Jupiter and Mercury are forming a tense square to Saturn and Neptune in Aries, activating your 10th house, the house of career, reputation, and long-term aspirations. This creates a push-pull between your personal needs and your professional responsibilities. You may feel caught between the desire to nurture yourself and the pressure to succeed or be seen in a certain way. This square could surface feelings of burnout, disillusionment with authority figures, or confusion about your next career step. It's okay if the path ahead feels foggy right now. Trust that clarity will come not from striving harder but from listening deeper. Venus in Taurus is blessing your 11th house of community and future dreams, forming supportive aspects to Mercury and Jupiter. This means you are not alone. Lean into your chosen family, your trusted friends, or your spiritual community. Their support can be deeply nourishing now. Still, Uranus and Taurus close to the intense fixed star, Algol could bring a surprise or disruption within your social network or collective identity. A friendship may shift. A dream may end, making space for one that's more aligned with who you've become. Rework your daily routine to include one non-negotiable act of self-care. Ask yourself, where have I abandoned myself in the name of duty? What small, sacred habit could I begin today to return to myself? This full moon is your invitation to come home to your body, your rhythm, and your worth. You are not just meant to care for others, you are meant to thrive. Dear Leo and Leo rising, the strawberry full moon on June 11th, 2025 rises in your 5th house, the house of pleasure, romance, creativity, joy, children, and self-expression. This is the place where your heart lives. It's the spark of life that makes you feel alive, inspired, and seen. Something that touches your heart deeply may be reaching its peak under this lunation. A love story may come full circle. A creative project might be revealed to the world. Or perhaps, you'll confront emotions around self-worth, visibility, or the fear of fully expressing your true self. This full moon asks, are you living in alignment with your joy? Are you allowing yourself to receive love, not just give it? You might find that your inner child has something urgent to say. Have you been silencing your creativity? Have you been seeking validation rather than creating from the soul? This lunation is ruled by Jupiter, which has just entered Cancer, illuminating your 12th house, the realm of the unconscious, dreams, spirituality, and deep emotional healing. Mercury is also in Cancer, close to Jupiter. Together, they encourage you to retreat, reflect, and listen to what your intuition is trying to tell you, especially about how you give and receive love. But Jupiter and Mercury are forming a square to Saturn and Neptune in Aries, located in your 9th house, the house of belief systems, higher knowledge, and the search for truth. You may be feeling conflicted between trusting your inner knowing versus conforming to external expectations or long-held beliefs. You may even question the meaning of joy itself. Do you believe you're allowed to be happy without earning it? Do you have permission to create without perfection? Venus in Taurus shines supportively from your 10th house, suggesting that your talents, your art, or your passions may soon gain public attention. If you've been working on something behind the scenes, it may finally be time to share it. However, Uranus conjunct Algol in your 10th house could bring a sudden, unexpected change in career visibility, reputation, or leadership roles. This could be disruptive or liberating. Either way, something about how you are seen in the world is being reshaped. And it begins with how you allow yourself to be felt. Engage in spontaneous creation, paint, dance, write, or sing without judgment. Meditate on the question, where have I been hiding my light out of fear it would burn too brightly for other? This full moon wants you to radiate. But first, it may ask you to cry, to release, and to reclaim the parts of you that once felt too much. You were never too much. You were simply meant to glow. Dear Virgo and Virgo rising, the strawberry full moon on June 11th, 2025, lights up your fourth house, the realm of home, roots, family, emotional security, and your inner sanctuary. This is one of the most sensitive and deeply personal places in the birth chart. When a full moon rises here, it often stirs something beneath the surface. Something ancestral, something hidden, something sacred. You may be experiencing a culmination or revelation regarding your living situation, a family matter, or your emotional foundations. This lunation could bring a turning point around a physical home or an emotional home, perhaps even both. It asks, where do you feel safe? And are you giving yourself permission to rest? With Jupiter newly entered into Cancer and Mercury close by in Cancer as well, your 11th house of community, dreams, and long-term goals is activated. These planetary allies suggest that you're starting to dream bigger, expanding your sense of connection to the world and imagining new futures. Your thoughts may be filled with visions of how life could be. But there's tension. Both Jupiter and Mercury are squaring Saturn and Neptune in Aries, which are currently transiting your 8th house, the house of shared resources, deep psychological transformation, intimacy, and endings. This square could trigger old wounds related to trust, control, or financial dependency. Something may be shifting in your emotional or financial bonds, or even your subconscious relationship to vulnerability. Perhaps you're being asked to let go of a power dynamic that has kept you emotionally tethered or energetically drained. You may feel torn between your desire to connect outwardly, 11th house, and your need to retreat inwardly, 4th house. That conflict is the very heart of this full moon. Venus in Taurus, your ruling sign's fellow Earth placement, sits in your 9th house, forming gentle aspects to Mercury and Jupiter. This opens up healing through belief shifts, travel, higher learning, or spiritual practices. You're being invited to see your story from a wider lens, maybe, even to rewrite it. However, Uranus currently conjunct Algol, one of the most intense fixed stars, is also in your 9th house. This can bring unexpected news, a shocking shift in belief, or a disruption around travel, legal matters, or teachings. A mentor figure might exit or arrive suddenly. Reflect on your definition of home. Is it a place? A feeling? A person? Cleanse your physical space. What am I afraid to let go of, even though it no longer supports my growth? This full moon brings a moment of emotional reckoning, but it's also a gateway. By honoring your emotional truth without trying to fix it, you begin the process of deep, soul-level healing. Let your inner child speak. Let your adult self listen. And above all, trust that you are worthy of peace, even in the storm. Dear Libra and Libra rising, the strawberry full moon on June 11th, 2025, activates your 3rd house, the realm of communication, siblings, short-distance travel, your mindset, learning, and your immediate environment. This is the house of your voice, how you speak, how you write, how you think, and how you connect to your local world. Under this lunation, a conversation may reach a climax, or news you've been waiting on could finally arrive. But more than anything, this full moon is a mirror. It reflects your inner dialogue. What stories are you telling yourself every day? Are your thoughts nourishing, or are they draining your inner peace? You may be asked to rethink the way you speak, not only to others, but also to yourself. Jupiter has just entered Cancer, along with Mercury, activating your 10th house of career, visibility, and public reputation. Your dreams of success and legacy are expanding. You may be thinking about your life path, your direction, and what kind of mark you wish to leave on the world. However, both Jupiter and Mercury are squaring Saturn and Neptune in Aries, which are currently sitting in your 7th house, the realm of one-on-one relationships, partnerships, and the mirrors you face. This tension could bring confusion or idealization in relationships. You may feel torn between your public image and your private partnerships. Are you being truly seen for who you are in your collaborations? Or are you playing a role to maintain harmony? This full moon asks you to speak up to assert your truth, even when it's uncomfortable. You don't have to sacrifice your voice for the sake of peace. Venus, your ruling planet, sits in Taurus, gently supporting your 8th house, a deep and transformative zone that governs shared resources, emotional merging, and shadow work. Venus' harmony with Jupiter and Mercury suggests emotional and financial healing is possible. You may have a breakthrough around trust, or open up to someone in a powerful way. Yet Uranus conjunct Algol also resides in your 8th house, bringing unexpected shifts in intimacy, finances, or even emotional triggers. Something buried may surface perhaps suddenly, but liberation is possible through release. Reflect on whose voice is narrating your life. Is it yours, or one you inherited? Cleanse your digital space, social media, emails, messages. Create mental clarity. This full moon is a call to reclaim your voice, not just the one others hear, but the one you hear within. If you've been silencing your inner truth to keep things beautiful, know this. True harmony begins with honesty. Let your words be your light. Dear Scorpio and Scorpio rising, this strawberry full moon rises in your 2nd house, the domain of money, values, self-worth, and the resources you rely on to feel safe and stable. This lunation brings financial matters or security-based decisions into sharp focus. You may be wrapping up a chapter in how you earn, save, or share your resources. But deeper than that, it's about how you value yourself. What are you giving your energy to? And do you believe you're worthy of receiving more? Jupiter and Mercury now sit in your 9th house, opening up horizons through learning, travel, or spiritual exploration. You may be inspired to dream bigger and think globally. But with Saturn and Neptune squaring from your 5th house, you may encounter doubts about your creativity, worthiness, or even matters of the heart. Are you afraid to take up space? To be seen? To trust your voice and desires? However, these planets form a tense square with Saturn and Neptune in your 5th house, which may bring confusion around creative expression, children, romance, or your inner child. You may be questioning whether joy is truly safe, whether pleasure can be trusted, whether your voice matters. These doubts are illusions, ghosts from your past. You're not here to perform or protect anymore. You're here to embody your truth and move toward more emotional and financial alignment. Venus, in Taurus, supports you from your 7th house of committed partnerships, helping you find support through others. But Uranus and Algol in the same house may shake things up suddenly. A relationship may shift, a truth may break open, but clarity will come. This full moon invites you to ask, what does true security feel like? And what part of you still believes you must struggle to deserve abundance? This full moon is a mirror, reflecting back what you believe about worthiness, and whether you truly let yourself receive. You're learning to release fear around survival and step into a timeline of deeper trust, sacred exchange, and self-respect. Let yourself be cracked open gently, Scorpio. Something beautiful wants to be born from the silence you've carried far too long. Dear Capricorn and Capricorn rising, this strawberry full moon unfolds in your 12th house, a deeply spiritual, hidden, and internal space. The 12th house is where we retreat, release, and reconnect with the unseen. It governs the subconscious mind, dreams, solitude, intuition, endings, and soul healing. This is not a time of external noise for you. It's a time of sacred stillness. You may be feeling more sensitive than usual. Emotions that have been repressed or ignored might suddenly rise to the surface. This full moon could bring closure to something you've quietly carried. A burden, a pattern, a loss, or even a dream you no longer resonate with. Let it go gently. You're being asked, what are you finally ready to surrender? What has been weighing on your spirit, even if you haven't put it into words? This is a beautiful lunation for solitude, meditation, journaling, or energy work. The veil is thin now. Pay attention to signs, symbols, and dreams. Your guides, ancestors, or even your higher self may be trying to reach you through synchronicity and silence. Meanwhile, Jupiter and Mercury are in your 6th house, highlighting your day-to-day rhythms, work, wellness, and responsibilities. You might be overwhelmed with the urge to fix, help, or organize, but beware of burnout. The square from Saturn and Neptune in your 3rd house warns against mental overload and emotional fatigue. Your mind may be foggy, anxious, or too focused on doing rather than simply being. This full moon reminds you that rest is not laziness. That healing is found in the pause. You don't need to have all the answers right now. Sometimes the most productive thing you can do is feel. The good news? Venus in your 5th house offers a soft glow of creative joy, romance, and play, if you let it in. There may be moments of beauty in the quiet, moments of connection through music, art, or childlike wonder. Uranus on Algol, however, can shake up your usual ways of finding peace. Expect unexpected insights, sudden emotional releases, or even spiritual downloads that change your path. This full moon is not here to be logical. It's here to dissolve the walls you've built around your heart and show you what lives underneath. It's a reminder that even the strongest among us need refuge. So, dear Capricorn, take your armor off. Give yourself the grace of not knowing. Let the moon hold you in the mystery, for that's where true renewal begins. Dear Aquarius and Aquarius rising, this strawberry full moon rises in your 11th house, the domain of community, friendship, collective purpose, and future dreams. This house is where your individuality meets the wider world. It's where you find your people, your cause, your vision for a better tomorrow. Under this lunation, a story involving your social connections may reach a turning point. Perhaps a friendship shifts form, a group you belong to changes direction, or your hopes for the future are redefined. It's a time of realignment, of seeing clearly who and what you want to walk alongside in the journey ahead. Ask yourself, do your current circles reflect the person you're becoming? Are your dreams rooted in authenticity, or in outdated versions of who you used to be? This moon is helping you say goodbye to certain affiliations or ideals that no longer feel aligned. And in doing so, you create space for more resonant, soul-led collaborations. Meanwhile, Jupiter and Mercury in your 4th house bring attention to your inner life, your family, your emotional foundations, your private world. You may feel called to return home, literally or spiritually. There could be important conversations with family members, or a need to nurture your emotional body more intentionally. However, their square to Saturn and Neptune in your 2nd house could stir up insecurity around money, stability, or self-worth. You might question whether you're truly safe enough financially or emotionally to chase your dreams or make big changes. The key is not to spiral into fear, but to ground into what's real and what's growing. Venus in your 4th house adds sweetness to home and heart, while Uranus on Algol shakes the very roots of your emotional security. Something in your private life may be destabilizing, but it's all part of the necessary clearing. This full moon is about the balance between where you come from and where you're going. You're re-evaluating the communities you belong to and the dreams you've been building. Don't be afraid to let the old visions die so something bolder, truer, and more you can rise in their place. You are a visionary, Aquarius. And sometimes, to leap into the future, you must first unclench from the past. Dear Pisces and Pisces rising, this strawberry full moon blooms in your 10th house, the house of career, visibility, purpose, and legacy. This is the part of your chart that governs your public image, your ambitions, and the impact you want to make in the world. Under this moon, something in your professional life may reach a culmination. Perhaps a project comes to completion, a career path changes course, or you receive recognition for the work you've done. But deeper than that, this lunation asks you, is your outer life a reflection of your inner truth? If not, something will feel off. You may experience a sense of discontent or even disillusionment around your goals. What once felt important may suddenly seem empty. Or maybe you finally see clearly what your soul actually wants to build in this lifetime. At the same time, Jupiter and Mercury in your third house light up your mind and your voice. You're thinking fast, learning quickly, and may feel a strong urge to communicate more openly. You might be called to write, speak, teach, or share your message more boldly. However, the square to Saturn and Neptune in your first house brings a veil of doubt. Who am I to speak? Do I even know what I want? These questions are part of your current transformation. Your identity is still crystallizing. And while that can feel destabilizing, it's also liberating. You don't need to have it all figured out. You just need to stay aligned with your inner compass. Meanwhile, Venus in your third house supports soft, loving conversations. Perhaps with siblings, neighbors, or through your own inner dialogue. Yet Uranus on Algol in your third house might also bring shocking news, revelations, or a disruption to your usual routines or ways of thinking. A new truth could crack open your worldview. His full moon wants you to be seen, but only in the ways that reflect your authentic self. Let go of outdated definitions of success and allow your soul's mission to take the lead. Your voice has power. Your purpose is real, but you must believe in your own vision first. So, dear Pisces, rise gently. Let the light of this moon wash away the illusions and show you who you've always been. As we close the chapter of the strawberry full moon, I invite you to take a deep breath. Let its energy settle into your body, into your soul. Whether this moon stirred your emotions, awakened your dreams, or whispered truths in the silence, know that it's all part of your unfolding. These lunar moments are cosmic checkpoints, not to pressure us but to realign us. If this message resonated with you, I'd love for you to like this video, subscribe, and share it with a kindred soul who may need this guidance. And until next time, let the moonlight guide you.